So a lot to go over today because we're talking about a hidden capstone dungeon because yes, this ultimately leads us into the discussion of, you got it, World Tier 5. So we're going to talk about that, but also we're going to be diving into some important stuff about, yes, the cash shop, and we're going to be talking about the most boring element of Diablo 4. You're going to have to let me know if you agree with this one or not, and how they can actually address this issue as well. But let's get into this one right here from icyveins.com. Check it out. World Tier 5 Capstone Dungeon revealed. And if we scroll down here, the article says this. There's been a lot of discussion surrounding one particular season journey objective lately, specifically the description of Echoes of Lilith. One has stirring up speculation about a potential World Tier 5 Capstone Dungeon. Today we have iBroken97 diving into the details. After spotting this strange seasonal objective description, they found evidence of a capstone dungeon in some leaked footage of the closed in-game beta. The Archives of Isilia is the key location found in the beta as an actual dungeon. Now, this leads us to this Reddit post right here, Forget to Rename, or World Tier 5 Capstone Leaked. I cannot show you this post. This was from iBroken97. And I cannot show leaked footage, but it is legit. But you know what? We got to head back to the Icy Veins article because it goes on to say this. The actual locations where we fight the Echo are Path to Hatred and Throne of Hatred. However, the archives are nowhere to be found. iBroken97 went on to find the location of this capstone dungeon in the beta, as well as the lack of thereof in the live game. Now, the real question becomes, what exactly happened to the archives? Were they just removed in favor of a simple pinnacle boss fight in the Echo of Lilith, never to return, or will we see them come back with the already data mined World Tier 5? So yeah, if you go into his Reddit post, he has these comparisons of the beta map versus the live service map, and there's apparently like a hidden dungeon or dungeon that you just cannot access currently in the version of Diablo 4 right now that was somehow accessible in the beta. Now, I think this could be a World Tier 5 type capstone dungeon that is locked away currently and might be unlocked to us in the future. But the question is, what else is going on with World Tier 5 investigation? So check it out right here. Back to icyveins.com. It says Diablo 4 World Tier 5, new gem ranks, and more data mining. We scroll down here. It goes on to say this. The data mining has begun on new and upcoming features. Datamine ARPG has been digging around and found evidence for a new world tier as well as more gem ranks in the game files. Now, these could be there for different reasons, testing and such, but it seems pretty obvious that we will be getting more world tiers and gems at some point, so it is likely legitimate. Let's talk more about World Tier 5, shall we? So, we scroll on down here. It says, there's also a placeholder for the capstone dungeon that will grant access to World Tier 5 in the files located in Fractured Peaks. Now, the game definitely needs a new world tier, and soon, as we've seen what high-level players are doing on World Tier 4. Hopefully, when the new tier arrives, it also will be launched on Eternal Realms at the same time as Seasonal. I would expect that to be the case, or I think people would be quite pissed off. Or if they do launch it on Seasonal only at first, it would eventually end up in the Eternal Realm. But with the way they're handling new uniques, new legendaries, they introduce them currently to both Seasonal and Eternal. So I think that would go for, anything like a new world tier. All right, so goes on to say this. New gem ranks. Here's the next rank for gems. You may want to hold onto the flawless ones we're getting now so you can upgrade them to these new ones. Interesting. I feel like gems are so abundant. Don't even worry about it. Says there are also more ranks coming up to rank 8. There isn't data nor a naming convention that provides a clue about rank 6. However, according to the game files, rank 7 is currently named Magnificent, and the final rank 8 is named Perfect. It's important to note that these names may still change before their official release. This comes from Datamine ARPG. It says this, there's also speculation on the exact numbers on the bonuses on the new game, as well as some minor seasonal information like the fact that we may be getting season chapters. Make sure you check it out. So yeah, a lot of this data mining actually came true. Then it goes on to say this, there's a note here, and finally there's a note on how well Blizzard are protecting their data from spoilers and similar. Blizzard is actually doing a commendable job of keeping the ship as leak-free as possible by omitting items or data from future content. However, due to my extensive experience with Immortal over the past year, I was still able to pick up a trail that led to this discovery, which tells me Could they have put it in there on purpose? That's a big question that makes me wonder. It is a possibility. I feel like sometimes they want to generate interest in the game by creating like sort of like fake leaks or access to supposed leaks. But yeah, let me know if you guys would come back to Diablo 4 if a World Tier 5 was introduced. Perhaps they introduced even more types of weapons beyond Ancestral. Now that would definitely pique my interest for sure. All right, so we got to head on over to Reddit. Check it out right here. It says, is it just me or does the cash shop make no sense from a core concept standpoint? Spartan 1088 has some great points here. Stick with me. Trust me, it's worth it. It says they're trying to be like Apex Legends, $20 through $25 skins, FOMO rotation, bundles, etc. All they need is $140 mythic skins and they will be on par. Apex Legends was the only other game I saw to pull these prices so arrogantly. What I don't get is, does Blizzard even know what their product is? It's a game where you make new characters every season. You don't typically main something. Very few people are going to make Jeff the Barbarian 15 times in a row. The reason the shop is so laughable is nobody sees the logic in getting a $25 skin because they have no bond with their character. It's built on seasonal rotation. People will then want to mix it up, try opposite sex, try new classes. Why would anyone spend $25 knowing they are going to move on when the buffs nerfs come out? They would have made so much more money on $5 to $10 skin purchases because then it would be justified having little fun with looks. Blizzard's cash shop team is a prime evil example of a company having professional knowledge of manipulation tactics with zero knowledge of their IP. I totally agree. That's the ultimate conclusion of this post, I think, is that the prices are just still absolutely absurd in the cash shop. Let me know how many items you guys have bought in the shop. I have bought 0 so far. I'm withholding no matter what because I believe they need to introduce more cool things in the actual rotation of the open world itself. Yes, we have the battle pass for seasons, but I think there needs to be cool drops in the open world. I think that's why people play the chase, you know? When it's on the battle pass, it's kind of like you're still chasing after tiers, you know, I suppose, but it's just not as interesting in my opinion. All right, so next up we have this one right here. It says the most boring element of Diablo 4 are basic attacks. This one comes from Payne Z. It goes on to say this, with all the flaws Diablo 4 has, I think the one thing that would make it less boring would be if you didn't have to use basic attacks at all. They ruin the whole flow of combat. When you see a pack of mobs, you want to AoE them with a core skill, not hit only one mob 3 times with your single target basic attacks before you can AoE the rest. Single target skills should still have a place in the game as boss killers or elite killers if they did more damage, but not as requirements to generate resource or AoE skills. Who the F designed a system where AoE skills do more damage than single target skills? Your whole mana regen should come from gear, making gear exciting, and not come from basic attacks. Very bad system. A lot of people agreed with this one, got tons of upvotes, but let's get into some of the replies here, shall we? So we have CJ Thinks, who says this, Arcglass Sorcerer here. If it's not because of my loot drops, I'd probably be a Frost Nova Ice Mage. I had this kick-ass staff with 96% basic attack plus 2 gems or 35% more. Coupled with attack speed, I literally walk around holding basic attack from level 40 through 60. Then I finally upgrade at 65 where I find a replacement for that staff and gloves for attack speed again. On my NMD being a challenge, all overworld and dungeon is shield, run, and basic attack. Oh, and the aspect that triggers ultimate on single attack helps a lot too at 20 to 25% chance. 1 in 4 out of 5 hits, I zap a mastery or core for free. Nicely done. Let me know how you guys are set up. I know there are ways, of course, to work around the basic attack. At least there was ways where you can actually just go straight for your core skill and be able to actually trigger that. But yeah, there have been adjustments where they really, really want you, no matter what, using the basic skills. And if that's the case, make them more interesting, make them more powerful. There needs to be something done there. And I do really agree with the idea when it comes to single target attacks, they need to be more powerful for things like, bosses. That absolutely needs to be the case. Alright, so there it is. I usually go over top comments, but again, this video is kind of backlogged, by the way. So I am traveling when this video goes out. I hope you don't mind, but I love reading your comments. Don't worry, I will get back into regularly reading your comments. But thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned here for more Diablo 4 videos, news updates. I've got you covered, and I will see you all next time. Take care.